Number 43. Let's see. 43, 43, 43. And it says the rattle is the spirit caller carrying the shaman's prayer to the four directions. The body of the rattle is the earth, like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. The rattle guides us to pray for all the earth, not just for our personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good, everything we need is provided for us. Oh, that's such a lovely message. Oh, that is such a lovely message. And the invitation is the rattle comes to invite you to work with the tools of spirit. Yes, time for action. But be careful. Yes, that caution. They are very sharp and can hurt you and others if they are not used mindfully. Yes, that energy of caution and awareness. Set your old tools aside and take up the drawing instruments of spirit. You are consciously stepping into partnership with the divine. This is the time for courageous deeds. Ashe. Do not let your hesitation get in the way of your expression. Ashe. Beautiful, beautiful message. Yes. Yes. That just put 1 and 2 together, right? Beautiful, right? We're shaking things up. We're being more cautious. It's time to act. Let's go to work and walk with spirit. And we're doing it for the benefit of the whole. Again, 6 energy, harmony, and balance. No more working just for self and hey, I need this, so this is what I'm going to do, and I don't care who it impacts and how it impacts, and it doesn't matter. It does. It matters. Energy matters. Our energy matters. No matter what color you are, your energy is manifesting onto this realm, and that's what we all dealing with. Is everybody's energy manifesting. So my energy matters. My energy manifests. Let that be a new mantra for 666. My energy manifests. All right. And then we go into the last card, which is the East. And this was upside down. And I said, the Council is upside down. And I said, yeah, there it is again. There's that message that things are changing. Things are changing. I'm just looking at the time, and the time is saying 3 minutes. And I know I've been talking longer than 3 minutes. So I'm like, did something happen here? Did something happen? But anyway, I'll find out, and then we'll just go from there. I might have to add these 2 videos together. I'm just saying. Anyway, but let's do it. So number 11, it's upside down, the Council. And I said, okay, yeah, that's it. Going back to where we began, things are changing. It's like the adverse, the opposite. Like what we thought was upright is now upside down. What we thought was extraordinary is the new normal. What we thought was strange is here. What we thought was false is truth. What we thought was the conspiracy is truth. What we thought was wrong is truth. What we thought was right is truth. It's all upside down. It's topsy-turvy. So much is changing. So much is changing. So, and the Council, again, the Council, like the leaders, the Council, who we look up to, what we thought, our perceptions, again, even if we take it from a very internal perspective, again, our thought process, our perceptions, because the staff, we're changing the staff here. We're letting go of the staff. We're no longer ignorant. We're looking at life different. We're rattling through the place, right? Oneness for all, letting things in, and wholeness, and being more cautious and aware. So our council is definitely changing. We're going to have new councils and a different way of a council. So all of that, all of it speaks to the changes, the grand changes that are truly taking place in this season. What I wrote was number 11. Where did I write that? Did I even write for number 11? Surprise, the surprise and the unexpectedness in it. That's what I wrote. There's a surprise in it, not going to be expected. That's what we're in this time now. We're again rejuvenation, but we're coming into a lot of new things, and it's going to be surprising. I wrote epic changes, clarity, and new leadership, and that's internal as well as external. Everything's turned upside down, turned inside out, and a lot of change. Also here we're at 666. It's a turning point of how we see ourselves, how we see others, how we relate to the world. Our worlds are about to be turned upside down, but we're going to have more pleasure, less pain, less trauma, more intimacy, less barriers, and less separation. Okay, so that is my message for the medicine wheel. And then I looked at two cards. One of the new decks that I have right now is the relationship deck. Right. And of course it was like, okay, 666 energy, relationships. Oh, did I go into that? No, I didn't go into the council. Let's go into the council. Let's go into that council. That's number 11. Let's go into that council one because it's upside down. Let's just put that right there. The council. The council are the luminous beings who hold the collective wisdom of humanity. They are the ones before whom you will do your life review when you cross into the world of spirit. A life review is when we place our good and our bad deeds on a divine scale and attempt to explain why we did not love or forgive or dare as greatly as we might have. Know that their wisdom is available to you at all times when you live in a state of yes, in an unconditional relationship with life. They remind you and your place around they remind you of your place around a sacred fire, which has been reserved for you since the beginning of time. You will claim it when you own your inner wisdom. So this is upside down. So the medicine is you are never alone. Ashe. Yes. Turn to the council to find the guidance you seek and listen to the voice that arises spontaneously. Turn a deaf ear to that nagging voice from your ego that tells you that you are not up for the task. Before you create a spiritual feast for the council, invite them to your altar every time you meditate and pray. Ashe. So again, there's this, like this call of renewal, and inviting in something new. And you realizing, again, our perception is changing, that we're not alone, our staff is changing, our eyes are changing, our wills are changing, and our worlds are changing. And that means that how we operate and how we perceive the world is gonna definitely have an impact. That saying, you want the world to change yourself. And once you change yourself, you see that world change around you. And it's so true. So true. All right. So that's what the council is encouraging us to do. Ashe, ashe. And then when I went into the relationship deck, the sacred geography deck, this is a new deck. And the first thing that came out was, the first card that came out was the second chakra, which is our sacral energy. And I thought, again, creation, and again, divine feminine energy, right? All of this rain that we've been experiencing. And again, here again, the sacral chakra, which is the divine feminine energy, where we create. And when I'm using the my rattle with the doing a lot of the sacral clearing, I literally say with the womb clearing, this is no longer a place of trauma and pain, but a place of love and creation, a place to create with love, you know. So it carries the energy of this adaptation and the changes and the way we operate, and feeling again grounded within that root chakra again. So then our sacral chakra again feels free and empowered, and the pleasure of creation, no longer struggling and no longer struggling, and the pain and the trauma and whatnot. We're releasing those things, and mind you, the release of those things, you got to do the shadow work, right? You got to do that inner work. But that's why it's called the shadow work, because that darkness is leading you to the light. It's all connected, right? So we have to be willing to step into that dark shadow to get into the light and do the shadow work. So the energy of the sacral chakra helps us to navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world, right? So again, what I said the other day, walking on water is truly understanding and conquering your emotions. So the if the water is we are made out of water, so when we can walk on our own waters, walk on our own emotions, as opposed to our emotions toppling us over. You know, I'm upset, so you know, I'm angry, so you know, like you can still walk peacefully on your emotions, so your own emotions are not throwing you off, right, and catapulting you. So and that comes with, you know, doing that shadow work and understanding your emotions and learning to navigate our lives through our emotions and supporting our ability to enjoy life, right? So I thought that was a very timely message. I will go into the book with these two. Intimacy 26, again, the barriers and the borders, or the prison bars melting away, so that we can actually see each other and see ourselves and know ourselves, and there not be so much separation, with understanding who we are as brothers and sisters, as well as understanding our relationship with this universe, this huge universe, the earth element, as well as the celestial element. And again, knowing who we are into me, I see, seeing yourself, and how we see ourselves truly. We pass that on to how we see and relate to others. The energy of intimacy supports us, trusting that we are safe to allow closeness. Again, that root chakra energy to, again, feeling safe. We're in this big energy now of feeling safe. And it might sound crazy because we are observing so much tossing and turning, so much chaos. But again, that saying, God's create cosmos out of chaos. So when we tap into our divine nature, we look at the chaos and we say, okay, yeah, this is for me to create that new thing. Or I know that through this chaos, again, I know that through the shadow, the tree is being formed. I know that through the chaos, the cosmos, something new is being created, and I can create something new myself with this chaos that's happening around me as well. And we don't have to attach ourselves to it and join in the whole party of chaos, but just understand that it is a season of making something new and getting some into me, I see, creating some intimacy for ourselves, so that we can, you know, again, live a life of pleasure through our emotions and having our emotions intact, and then allowing ourselves to come into closeness with other people and with ourselves, so that we can create that unity and that bond, right, amongst each other. And then time, the energy of time came, number 41. And time says the energy of time supports our understanding of the relativity of time and our capacity to be present in the moment. And remember, I was talking talking about that at the beginning, the energy of timelessness and the calendars and the cycles of life. And really, when you understand what time is, and you can just kind of like put that in a multi-dimensional perspective, then it almost like truly, I wrote something the other day and I said, oh, what was it, something about something removes the constraints of time. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's basically like, oh, maybe it's multi-dimensionality. Space, yes, it was space. I think that's what I wrote. Space removes the constraints that time places up, right? That time gives us, because again, like time is like, okay, it's 12:01 or 5:06, as opposed to space. It's just a pure empty space, and you could do anything in that space. But time mark something. It's like putting something in the sand, putting that marker down in the sand. So almost time makes it exact, or makes it the word escapes me right now, but I think the essence of what I'm saying is coming through. Time marks it, space allows it. So when we can really become masters of time and use time for our benefit, as opposed to being a slave to the time, and again, seeing the relativeness in time and what time is really used for and how time is used, again, it frees you up, and so like there's this beautiful relationship between space and time. And when you when you can be mutable within both, it opens you up to a very more expansive experience with life. So let me go into the book. Let me go into the book with these, and we can get the messages. So again, this 666 portal, creating with power and intimacy and pleasure, and not stepping into that pain anymore, but creating from a more empowered place and pleasurable place, allowing more intimacy and union. And time, like not being a prisoner of time, but understanding the timelessness again, and the adaptability that we can come into when we really understand the infinite and limitless um, uh, space that we are in. And time puts markers in that, but like all of this is our experience. If this is the clock, this is the whole experience, so we can get stuck in the clock, or we can realize that, hey, we're actually experiencing this whole thing. This marker in the middle is the least of it. That's what I'm trying to say. If this is the clock, the measurement of time, this here is truly the whole experience. And sometimes we get tied up in this measurement of time, and we're forgetting that we have the whole experience. Like every day we have literally 24 hours, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I won't be able to do that, and I remind myself, Akita, you got 24 hours. You can get everything done on your list today. Truly you can, because there's no such thing as time. So okay, 2:26 and 41. Let's see what's going on here. 2:26 and 41. First message. Second chakra, the emotional. The sacral chakra color is orange, encouraging movement and connection with others. Viewing it has a freeing effect on the body and mind, stimulating creative thinking, abundance, success, and appetite. It relates to our creativity, our sensuality, and the emotional world. With water as its element, this chakra is connected to flow and flexibility. Ashe, it is the season of flow and adaptability. All of this rain. Its principle is pleasure, and it is the center of feelings and sensations. Reality on the physical plane is mostly experienced through our senses, and the world of the senses is governed by the sacral chakra. It is located right below the navel. Sacral chakra and relationships. Much of our understanding of ourselves in this sensual, delicious world comes from the feedback offered by our powerful sensory organs. Our physical bodies are designed for this offering. Our first attraction to another person is often based on what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Before babies can distinguish features by sight or understand spoken language, they recognize their mother by taste and smell. We often can sense if a person we have met will become a friend. Sensuality and sexuality are sense-powered qualities to fuel romantic relationships. Sensuality deals with the experiences that bring pleasure and sensation through the senses, yet it is not always sexually orientated. It can be a healing force that connects us to our raw emotions and allows us to feel deeply connected to our own self and others. Sexuality deals with the intrinsic drive for procreation, the physical desire for sexual stimulation, and life-giving energy. This drive can be purely instinctive and lacking any emotional connection or sensuality. Sensuality and sexuality merged together can add a powerful, deep, and delicious component to a romantic relationship. So it's this balance of not just being sexual, but remembering the creative spirit in being and allowing ourselves to be sensual. And one of the things I experienced over the last few months too, especially with this orange, with the sacral chakra, is using that, because it's that creative space, using that creative space to create content and to create products and services that bring forth more and more abundance for us. So it's like that for the feminine, that sacral energy is very, for a woman, it's like, okay, I'm supposed to be creating a baby. But no, we got things to create. We got projects and videos and products and aromatherapy stuff. We have things to create, and ideas and so that sacral energy is used to not just create beings, but to create things, businesses, and sometimes when using this balance between the sacral and I wasn't sure if I was seeing things or this actually, I love that this card has this orange and then the solar plexus energy, right? So that solar plexus energy, and I guess it's in here too, it's this balance between the two, the solar plexus and the sacral, the solar plexus yellow and the sacral, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But that solar plexus energy is the barriers and borders. And the reason why sometimes we have to put up these barriers and borders is because to conserve this sacral energy that we're giving out so much by helping and not using that sacral energy for ourselves to create the product, the service, the idea that we are supposed to give out and then bring forth that abundance. So that's a very important thing just to hold on to, especially for women, especially for people who are big givers and they feel imbalance in their lives. And it's like, well, how come I'm doing so much, but I'm not getting what I want? It's because you're giving out too much of this sacral energy. And you got to rein in using your solar plexus. Rein that giving out, rein it in, and use that, conserve the sacral energy to create your own abundance. And then you won't feel that imbalanced, right? So I'm glad that opportunity came up. Food for thought. Are you afraid of your emotions? Do you express your emotions freely? If not, why not? What are you sensitive to? What do you do to balance yourself when you feel emotional? Have you ever met someone you thought you were very attracted to at first, but when you got closer, something didn't resonate? For instance, their scent was not working for you, or their voice. Call Spa Smith if it's a scent issue. Contemplate the meaning of the expression coming to your senses. What does that mean in your life? Beautiful, beautiful message. And what's coming into me too is like, we were shedding the not knowing. We were shedding the ignorance, right? And tapping into our third eye. There was a lot of third eye activation on that medicine wheel. And this card talks about feeling and really being in tune with your physical senses. So it's like, again, this merge, 666. We're not leaving anything out. The fullness of ourselves, being able to feel and be fully tapped into your senses as well as your intuition. That's a master. That sounds like a balanced master, right? Let's go into number 26, intimacy. Into me, I see. Number 26. Number 26. Let's see what that message is. I am intimate. Intimacy has to do with closeness to a place, a topic, and ourselves, and to something larger than life. When we talk about intimacy, we mostly refer to the closeness we experience with another human being, often the one with whom we are in romantic relationship. Sound out the word intimacy as into me. See, intimacy is what happens when we open our heart to another and allow them to see into us as we are seeing into them. Real intimacy is more than just the merger of our physical bodies. It includes the emotional, mental, and spiritual parts of us as well. The image shows a variety of colors referring to the inclusion of all parts of ourselves. That's that 7 energy, that integration. Their merger is expressed in a dynamic of vibrant dance of shapes, forms, colors, hues, and gradients. The green at the center refers to the heart, which is foundation of real intimacy. The outer circle represents the container of a safe and sacred space, which is needed for the dynamics of true, authentic sharing and intimacy. The lights at the center represent the illumination that occurs through the alchemy of soul merging. 6 refers to harmony, balance, love, and relationship, all of which grow and thrive through true intimacy. So again, that's 6 energy. That's what 6 stands for. And we're 666, right? 6 refers to harmony, balance, love, and relationship. And we're 666, all right? All of which grow and thrive through true intimacy. Intimacy in relationships. Real intimacy between two people happens when we open up and show ourselves. This is about much more than sex. On an energetic level, when we are intimate with somebody, an energy exchange always takes place. We absorb some of the other energies and we absorb some of the other's energy and they some of ours as we open up to each other. Intimacy is about allowing a partial merger between ourselves and something outside of us. It requires us to become soft, receptive, porous and flowing, so the energies can blend and intertwine. Again, that's that feminine energy, that flowing and adaptability, going with the flow, becoming softer to receive, being receptive. Intimacy also requires trust. To get close to anything or anybody, we must trust that we will be safe to do so. That root chakra energy, again, physically and emotionally, trusting that all is well and that we are safe. Ultimately, this sense of safety must be rooted in our sense of self and our connection to a higher power or source. Only when we are firmly anchored in our own feeling of belonging to a larger whole can we feel safe, regardless of our outer circumstances or others. Real intimacy with another starts with the intimate relationship we have with ourselves. When we start connecting to our own heart, we start seeing what makes us tick. Then we can become intimate with any aspect of life, including other people. Again, knowing your shadow, trusting your shadow. Food for thought. Is it easy for you to be intimate with another? If not, what holds you back? Do you think that intimacy is exclusively for romantic partners? How do you think you can foster intimacy and help it grow? Do you feel connected to a higher power? What do you do to foster and cultivate that connection, which is also the first step to intimacy with another person? That is so important. I love that message because it's showing that, it always starts with us, and it always starts from inside. And no, we think about intimacy and relationships or whatnot, but again, the relationship that you're having with yourself is truly the relationship that shows up with others. What I'm coming into right now is this truth, and this is how I'm seeing it, that every single conversation that I'm having with people is really just me having it with the universe, and the people are just the symbols that are showing up, allowing me to have this conversation, like the oracle cards. You know what I mean? It's just as, look, I shuffle and a card shows up and it's like, okay, well, we're going to talk about this. But it's a conversation I'm having right now. I mean, my phone's on and it's recording it, but who am I really talking to right now? I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the universe. You know what I mean? So every conversation that we have, and we think we're directing it to this person and we're having it because this person did this, and nah, it's all us, right? And it's how this beautiful world works, is that things show up in our reality so that we can have these intimate conversations with the universe, we think we're having it with about that third person, but nah, it's all about us. It's all about how we see the world, how we're speaking into the world, what we're saying, and all of that is truly invocation that we are giving to the universe, for the universe to say, okay, oh, that's what she wants, that's what she sees, that's what she feels, that's what she is releasing, that is what she's calling in, that's what she's accepting. All right, well, let's go with that. Remember, every conversation that you're having, you're actually having it with the universe. You and Big Mama and Big Papa and all of their teams, right? Because it is a multiple conversation, a multiverse, a multi-dimensional universe, multiple things happening all at once, multiple oneness. And let's go into time. 3344 is on that thing right now. 41 time. Let's see. What is time telling us? I am timeless. Yes. Ashe, ashe. Listen, I wrote this last night. Timeless. Multidimensionality and adaptability. Ashe, ashe. And this is before I did this. Ashe. Okay, so time structures our daily rhythms. A time to work, a time to eat, a time to sleep, to socialize. Yet such an ordered concept remains relative, as we've known since ancient work, meaning that our perception of time depends on where we are, who we are, and what we are doing. We can interact with someone on the other side of the globe, and they can be in a different time zone, half a day or a night ahead or behind us, yet we can still share a moment together. A day may seem to move faster or slower depending on whether we are at work or on vacation or in the dentist chair. If we are a farmer, we may experience time differently than if we are a stockbroker. And I would definitely say that time has been speeding up. Many people feel that time is increased. Oh my goodness, time is increasingly speeding up. This acceleration can be partly contributed to technological advances that allow us to do many things much quicker and more efficiently. We simply get more done in a shorter amount of time. In a broader view, time is a social, sequential construct that society has created to get a better grasp on reality, to determine when all things made of matter take place in our universe. It prevents things from happening all at once, and we divide time into three separate elements: the past, the present, and the future. This is a linear, horizontal way of looking at time, and it has been fundamentally to our perception of a three-dimensional world. Now that we are waking up to the concept that we are multi-dimensional beings, we must consider vertical time as well. Getting lost in the moment can then refer to the perception that time no longer exists, that there is no connection to our past or our future, horizontal time, and that all we experience is the present moment, vertical time, in which we can be fully present with our awareness completely focused on what is going on in our now. And that brings me back to the medicine wheel, because what was shedding, and it was almost, remember I was saying vertical versus horizontal. So this is the vertical, right? And we're going into that, we're releasing, I guess, the horizontal time, and we're going into that vertical, which is timelessness. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, and multidimensionality. We have to be able to look at things and know that we are multidimensionality, and that we are truly having a multidimensional experience every single day. Image description. The double infinity sign is an indication that time is a relative and elusive concept that is mostly connected to a three-dimensional reality. The 8-pointed star refers to the infinity sign as well, but also as a shape in three-dimensional form-based world. 8 balances the material and the immaterial spiritual world. Here, it merges time in 3 dimensions with time in multiple dimensions. There are 2 flower of life grids, one in the foreground and one in the background. Both refer to the flower of life and the foundation of our form-based world. Yet their occurrence in different layers refers to the multidimensional nature of our existence here. The blue background refers to the infinite space of the quantum field around us. The outer circles indicate the different speeds in which time manifests itself in different places. The purple and magentas refer to our connection to a higher power or source. The yellow and orange symbolize the sense of self and presence that we manifest in our form based reality. We often use time as a measurement, time and relationships. We often use time as a measurement to validate our relationships. While this is certainly a valuable tool for assessment, the quantity of time by itself does not validate the significance of our connection with another. We can spend a lifetime with another human being, yet never experience deep or meaningful connections. It is also possible to deeply and profoundly connect with another after just a short period of time, even instantly. When this cannot be explained by any interaction we have had with them in this lifetime, we might consider our eternal souls on ongoing journeys in many physical forms. Perhaps the quality of the connection is determined by the vertical time we spend with another, what happens in the moment, than by the horizontal time or duration. Food for thought. Many of us think often about time. We even use the word time in a variety of ways. It's the time of the day. Every time I go there, this happens to me. I would really like to spend some time with you. Pay attention to how often you use the word time and how many different meanings. Are you able to be fully present in the moment? What happens when you are? Have you ever experienced time standing still? What happened? What were you doing? Where were you? Were you with someone else? Can you revisit or recreate that experience? Have you experienced what it feels like when time is speeding up? What causes this? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, there you go. I mean, I was feeling it and it came out. It's so much is changing. How we look, the multidimensionality, the seer, how we see things, how we see time, how we understand ourselves, how we understand the world working around us, how we understand cycles and calendars and timelessness, ourselves as eternal beings, and this clock and this measurement and what that really means. And again, are we just here on the clock? Or are we truly understanding that this is the true experience, the vertical time, not the horizontal, but the circular time? I've never said vertical time before today. I look at it as the time is circular, not linear, right? And understanding that that circle is that endless energy, that limitless energy that just continues to create. It's really the spiral, because the spiral continues to create, and then it spirals up. So there's always this elevation too. We are really spiraling up. Sometimes we spiral down too, and sometimes we spiral up. Well, thank you so much for being here with me. This is your 6/6 message. My name is Akita Akari Aurora. There will be more. There will be many more messages. This is just the beginning of the June messages. Thank you so much. Enjoy 666. This is the beginning of our new season. Many, many beginnings. The blooming, of epic changes, clarity, new leadership, timelessness, multidimensionality, adaptability. These are the energies and the themes of this portal. More pleasure, less pain, less trauma, more intimacy, less barriers, less separation, more wholeness. Happy 666. Be you, be beautiful, be loved, be light, be well. Mwah. Bye. Happy 666, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Akita Akari Aurora Spirit Prescriptions. Happy 666. Mwah.